be your father. So we don't waste no time. Money we account every time. More dollar. In the boy, oh, Tago just get my shining quavo. Chuchu trouser. Mama, Mama, go lay on all I get on baby. Yeah, the border. So me, I humble myself. Anyone me step man down to the earth. Shut up, me see and me beat to the girl. So me scared, I'm like, huh? Hi. Shut up, Wale, I come like a kite. Hi. Shut up, Wale, come like a kite. Hi. Me come to them like some kakai. Hi. Shut up, Wale, come like a kite. Forever and ever, I'll be a soldier. Forever and ever, I'll be a leader. Forever and ever, I'll be a teacher.
Forever and ever, I'll be your leader. I'll be your teacher. Shatawale, good evening to you.
Feel it, daddy.
Done.
I just want to apologize to your listeners for the little delay because I was in a meeting because of you. So
yeah. One done. Good to hear from you.
Thanks, man. It's been a long time.
Yeah, the last time you came to Takoradi was in February when you came for the Sarkodie Takoradi invasion.
I know, right?
Yeah. But what was your expectation met?
Yes, I think we had what we wanted, and I think it looked good though.
You think nothing went wrong? I'm talking about that show.
And the show with the
at the Jendu Park, yes.
Yeah, I think with a little hitches here and there because I think the organizers didn't try for the investor in terms of the dilemma himself they didn't try for him, so I think things didn't go as planned because we expected to do more than what we did, but Tadi is like another hometown of mine, so people came to support the movement which
But that very night you came very late to perform. What were you waiting for?
Well, it was the event organizers, and that was why I think I started speaking my mind on stage and mentioning some names here and there because I felt they didn't really coordinate the program well for it to go as we wanted it to. Because we've had some few shows with this man before we came to Takoradi. We had a successful show. All because I was in a known of the plan. But this one, I think they really didn't consider talking to me, and I call those people ups. Ups always want to do things, but I think with Santana and the Dusty are not like event organizers. They work with feelings, and if you watch what they did to the man, this man put a whole lot of money in there, but they didn't really ask for my consent. But all the shows that we did with the delay man capsule, we had everything being planned well. My consent where really supported, and we really put up something good. But I think it's them, but it's all gone now, and we move on.
Shatta, how is Sarkodie doing? Because I know you've invested a lot into that area. How is Sarkodie doing?
Well, I would say by God's grace, the support is great. Now I think we have more than enough on our platforms when you come to Accra. The first year into the middle of 1 year and a half, I wasn't really seeing drivers supporting it, but now I believe the message is getting to the people, and it's looking good now, and I can boldly say we are on our way to victory when it comes to we getting our share in the ride hailing market. And I think now it's doing good, and if you check the drivers in Takoradi too, they've been supportive. It's been introduced my team from the office to them, and they are really also supporting. It's just that we have to do a whole activation in Sarkodie, for the drivers and the riders as well. But as I'm talking to you now, my team is in Kumasi now, planning to have activation in Kumasi at the end of this month. So it's looking good. It's just that, it's a baby company, so we all have to support it. And thank you guys for also, supporting it and, pushing the ads for me.
How is your real estate business as well?
Well, that one, is always on point. Shaba is always into buying and selling and doing what I have to do. Recently, I think sold a 4-bedroom house, at Lakeside, and that is what I'm also injecting into the taxi business. So the real estate is doing good because I've built some houses that it wasn't for a purpose of me staying there, but it was to rent it out, sell some. God being so good, some of them that I've sold that I wanted to rent. People love the model of the houses, and they bought it. So that one is looking good for me because there's always something that I've wanted to do, and I'm doing that right because you deal with proper business partners and they come and get your cash and you move your way. So that one is solid and it's moving. It's just that I need to get more investors on board so I can put up a project that I want to do in Pram Pram. I have like a 7.5 acre land that I want to build a whole apartment units and stuff like that. So that one is looking good for me. That one I won't lie to you about it.
I mean, looking at all this that you've invested, I'm thinking that maybe in the near future you abandon the music and maybe go fully into other areas.
Well, the music, I can abandon the music because I have this bond with the Ghanaian community, and I wouldn't fully say fans, but I've come to realize that people love me for me and being myself and, projecting, some kind of music that I call shutter music in terms of, motivating people and letting them know how to be themselves and work things out. So basically, music is always going to be a part of me, but gradually, I would want to support like artists, that are really coming up and want to do music and, take them through some orientation of who an artist should be, because we didn't get opportunity to go through certain orientations. Like I believe that wouldn't be singing some profane songs here and there and doing some diss tracks here and there. It's just that, what we find ourselves in and how, the system has been structured is why, sometimes you feel like certain people in the media space don't like you because of certain things that you also want to stand for, which is the truth, So it's just crazy. But with the way I'm more into business now, my ride-hailing service and the real estate, I believe what I need to be doing more is concentrating more on business and, making more money from that and also supporting the industry where, I came from. Because the industry, we talk about it every day, but it has supported me a lot, So I really want to have artists in the near future and still continue the music.
Well, let me ask you, with your music career, where do you make the money? Is it performing at event, or maybe your streamings, or your social media presence? Where do you make your money with your music career?
That's a good question. I was telling somebody a while ago that gone are the days when I was putting my songs on the internet. People were telling me, take it to radio station, and I said, yes, radio station, that is very beautiful. But if a radio station has not, been giving that, let me say mandate to, pay artists, I would be paying the radio station and I won't be getting that business back. So basically, what I've done for myself for the past years is that I have, platforms that I load my songs myself. For instance, like I have a Lifetime, with Distro Kit, that's a distribution company, in abroad. And most of the times when I put my songs out, that's where I get my funds. I can only tell you for the past 4 or 5 years, I've made a couple of hundreds of thousands of dollars on there that helps me to also move my things properly. So when people really talk about how I make money, I tell them it comes from the music, because it doesn't come from only the performance, but it is what I have positioned for myself. I have seen where I can drive my funds from, and that is one part. So I'm controlling like DistroKid. DistroKid has over 200 and something stores, online all over the world. So when I put my music on there, they distribute it to all the stores. With YouTube, when you come to YouTube, I keep it as my personal account. So YouTube also pays me personally. You can still add YouTube to DistroKid, but I like to separate it so I can see how the money is coming in. So I see money from YouTube, I get money from AudioMark that is also on a different account, and I get money from DistroKid. So these three things are the three major things that are really helping me to make enough money. I can every month I see my money every month, just like any other worker, working. So most of the times I can be there, and YouTube, like for instance, pays from every 19th, 20th to 21st. So every 21st of the month, there should be money, hitting my account. AudioMark too pays at the beginning of the year. This morning I was looking at, some, money I've made from AudioMark, and it looks good. At least it can pay for bills, and it can, take me around with my daily, duties. So basically, all those monies come from there. And when it comes to the show too, I've also branded myself in a way that people would know that this is a serious artist who's doing serious business. So most of the time, God being so good, I get some, shows in like foreign currencies, and that's what I used to.
The $150,000.
Thank you very much.
$1.
Yeah, it comes like that. When sometimes promoters come and I, put everything down well for them, they understand. For instance, like Afro Nation, pay me $100,000. A Cardi B show like this got me 150,000. A couple of shows, that I've made, performed. Sometimes I go to parties and even take the 50,000s and the 50,000s. And I love it because I have something that I'm doing. So anytime I get money, I push my money in there, and it looks solid for me.
You didn't talk about TikTok. There was a post I saw from you that you've been wasting your time on Facebook, but you went to TikTok, and just a few days you were making like
like TikTok is what I'm even advising all my colleagues, to go on there and at least benefit some money small. Because I went to TikTok I went on TikTok for I think a week, and by I think I went on Monday. By Friday, people have gifted me a whole lot, and I said, let me just check my account, and I had like 22,000 Ghana cedi in my account. I was like, wow. So if I can be using this thing for, a year or 5 years, I'll be making like some good millions of Ghana cedi on there, because people like me. TikTok is like a place of fun, even though sometimes you find other content on there. Everybody on TikTok literally wants to enjoy some fun. So I find myself there and, create some fun with the fans, and, people from outside. I never knew, like, people love me like that. That's why from the beginning of this, like I was telling you, that I found that it's not only fans, but I've seen that people love me, like, mothers, fathers, kids, and stuff like that. Because the rate at which people give me things like on TikTok, like gifts, for instance, and not only on TikTok, like after TikTok, there are foreigners. Recently, I had this woman from America who said she loved like my Shatter Foundation, and she would want to be supplying me some stationeries and some clothes that I can, donate to, places that. And shout out to the Sarkodie fan base, the Shatter Movement fan base. They've been helping me with them, a whole lot of donations. I see them going to the prisons, doing everything in the name of Shatter Movement. So I have even arranged that for them, so at least they can use that for their donations this year if they have to. So it looks good. It looks good. TikTok is another place of making money too.
But Shatta, would you say entertainment shows on radio and TV have helped your career as well?
Well, I think I would just say that all the negative things that I have had in this industry, from entertainment shows and stuff like that, I turn them into positive, meanings. If I hadn't taken my time to breathe in and see how I can calculate, with some of the things they say about me, I don't think I'll be here, because I'm a creative person, and creatives have brain damages. Sometimes when you're creating a song and you can't even create it, you can think about it for like a week or two because you want to get a song in a certain direction. It's crazy. So if I see entertainment programs, saying negative stuff about me, sometimes it's because I'm closer to God. So I just like to breathe in and ask God for the next direction, and boom, that's where I start creating more songs and start forgetting about the negative energy and adding positive energy to myself, and it helps me a lot.
But you sometimes respond with these songs.
It depends on the message. If you are sitting there right now and somebody come and slap you in the radio station, I believe you can take a baseball bat and to hit the person because you don't understand the person. It's like that. I tell people, it's give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. You understand me? Yes. If recently I was listening to Ola Michael on UTV, and he was trying to make a point. But make your point, but don't make your point you don't want to in quotes think like a normal human being. When you behave like that, I see you what are you talking about? That Sarkodie so sorry, not the camera to no or yank or for. No, I'm too knowledgeable and I have too much wisdom to just wake up, then I want to insult feeling daddy, and I want to insult somebody. And I was telling somebody, maybe you might slap somebody and go scot-free, but there's the next person that you might slap that won't come and only beat you, but he'll beat you and your parents and your area people and everybody that is around you, even your pastor. People are like that, and that is the type of person that God has created me into. I have that truthfulness in me, that when somebody talks about me, make sure you are making a point, but don't come and just say Sarkodie or yank or for by heart. Yank or for by heart said then psychiatric hospital outdoor was psychiatric hospital medical school, psychiatric hospital medical school, psychiatric. If you are talking like that, I see you you are not okay. So I'll come to you with a certain style that you feel like, oh no, but I think you should have calmed down and you shouldn't have said this. No, I will say everything that any angry person will say in a song, but I won't act anger, or I won't put anger in front of the whole situation that will end me in jail or something. I want to go and fight the person, I want to go and beat the person. No, but because God has given me a tool to use to voice out and make money out of it, I'll push my direction to that side, and that's going to be my bingo.
But Shatta, you mentioned Ola Michael, but Ola Michael another when he used you as an example, and even that when he was making the comment, he's like, no, don't take it wrong, why were you too offended like that?
So somebody like Shatta Wale should be used as an example of a diplomatic passport. Let's think deep into it if it's right. First, in the first place, the people I started music with that are proper superstars. Let's talk about Samini, let's talk about, the KK Fosus, the Kokovelis, the Timies.
Yeah.
Fine. It's the industry that has made it look like they don't have markets, but I believe they still have their markets that they are running. You get what I'm saying?
Samini is doing international shows.
Yeah, Samini. So they are running their market. So why didn't he use Samini?
Yeah.
He could have used anybody, but because I have that tag on me, which I like so much, and I'm so proud about it, because I believe it's not about me being disrespectful. It's about people failing not to research about the situation. I tell people, Ghanaians are not too researchful. We don't like to research about things. We just hear, oh, they say feeling daddy is a scammer. everybody will take it like Feeling Daddy is a scammer. Nobody will want to get close to Feeling Daddy and go like, oh no, but the guy is not what you are saying he is. You know what I mean? Because most of the time I tell people, the things I do outside music is marvelous. Like, you know, me even creating an app. There is no Ghana artist in the history of Ghana music that has thought of this dream before.
Yeah.
So I believe we should know the growth in our artists. You understand me? Like, for instance, if I'm doing real estate, it's not easy to buy a house in East Legon. Come and check the price. It's $750,000, $800,000. Ask yourself, how did Shatawale get this money to even acquire this house?
Yeah.
Yes, and these are the kind of things that we can teach the next generation to know that you need to save money. You need to, you know, what you're spending. You know, you don't need to impress people. I tell people, I will shoot videos if I know it won't give me money. I will use that money to buy cement and block or iron rod, because I know with that, if I finish building that project, I can sell it and make profit out of it. And that is me, you know. But when you don't check my growth and you just want to talk because another Samabedu has been speaking like anyhow about me, anybody on radio can come and sit there. There's this woman called Sally Fripo-Masu. She come and she'll go like, yo, these are people I can employ and pay every month, because I have a whole staff in Accra in my office for Shaki, 15 people. I pay them from wherever to wherever. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is an artist that you are failing to watch his growth. You know, so those are the things that are the things that make me get pissed when I'm like watching people like that. I go like, no, don't do that.
You feel disrespected.
Yes, and that is why I'm saying that in the near future, I will just look for talents and orient them, put them into an orientation system, and tell them about how music business is. So don't go and make the mistakes I made, because I see those things that when you are madani behavior, mukasakra, I mean, you know, mu advice, I mean, to me, because maybe billions, you know. Well, after I didn't go billion. Well, my dear, after I don't go foreign currency, you know. You see, when I tell people that I'm a dollar millionaire, no, like my assets, and you know, I'm still running this thing like nobody's business. I've seen millions of dollars. You understand me? Like I've worked hard to build, like my office alone in East Legon is valued to $1.something million. Not to talk about Shaki business. So you compare that, or this is the whole $3 million business that has been valued that I'm running. So when people say certain things about me, I go like, are you okay? Like, are you really? Oh, you're just watching Facebook Live and you have seen me with my shirt off, so you think like I'm a cowboy. No, that is acting for you. If you've not watched Rambo movie before, go and watch Rambo movie. After the movie, Rambo will hold gun and come to town.
So that is the side Ghanaians are refusing to accept.
That
I'm saying that side of you, the businessman, the multi-million dollar man. I mean, Shatta is a business-minded person, and that is what Ghanaians are refusing to accept. But only your social media rants that they always want to talk about. Is that the point you're making?
And that's why I say it's not even Ghanaians. It's some of our media personnel. You understand me?
I think you always have a problem with some of the media personnel.
Yes, because Ghanaians don't see me like that. I go out, I drive out, I meet mothers, I meet fathers. They drop from their cars with their kids to take pictures with me. You understand me? No mother ever meets me and say, Santa, you don't respect. Because I've not disrespected that mother. You understand me? But when an Andy Dusty will sit on radio and will say anything anyhow because he feels that he has the microphone, I have microphones at home that I can name them. Andy Dusty, Abegu Santana.
That's Oba agenda sir. No jina stage now. Who did you on my term?
Because man, no, sure, no, I'm saying man, no, mudi maniska. It doesn't mean can't show my way. You know, you don't have to do that just because there's a Satawali on the show. So they didn't want the show to go on well, so they can go and sit down and have a conversation about it and talk about things that are not important. Like, for instance, when Shatta is in Ghana and you are comparing Shatta to Sarkodie, you are comparing Shatta to Stoneboy, you are a failure. Because when I came out, there wasn't Stoneboy. But then I'm from Ghana, there wasn't a Sarkodie. So I'm more experienced in this business than all those guys. So the moment you compare me to Sarkodie, then you make Sarkodie feel big. And when I'm talking to Sarkodie, and Sarkodie wants to talk some, I'm like, hey, and I make a show. But you see, you make a whole thing look like Sarkodie, you are bigger than Shatta Wale. No, Sarkodie can never be bigger than Shatta Wale in his life. Because feeling that who first boy and I was second boy. Yes, sir. Yes, you can't say your second boy is your first born. It can never happen. I'm not saying Sarkodie is not successful in his doings and whatever he's doing. He's also playing his role as a musician, whatever he has to do. But don't compare me to Sarkodie because the mindset I have, he doesn't have some. Like it's like on a flower road or a Takrady road. I've driven on a Takrady road every time, so I know the roads. I know where potholes are. I know where speed ramps are. He just started. And by God's grace, at least they've come to meet me at a place where they see that, oh, okay, cool. So this is how stardom is. We are the A-list artists. Yes, if we are even A-list artists, don't make that mistake to compare me to any of these people. Like recently when Black Sherif came out, everybody was comparing the boy to me. I was like, what are you doing to the boy? You kill him. Because I know this road. If I can speed 120, he can choose to speed 120. But where I will see the speed ramp and slow down, he will fly over it and he will get accident. Are you get what I'm saying, feeling?
Yeah,
so those are the things that are like my problems with the industry people. Like, you know, some of them, not all of them, you know, because you have been there from day one, you have been supportive and everything, but with the things they talk about and how they want to portray it to the general public is also watching and they're seeing that, no, Shatta is a different person. And what you guys are saying, we are not seeing it. Like when I'm on the streets and I'm driving, I see my fans and stuff, like, I don't disrespect anybody. That's why people love me. I don't disrespect anybody on the street. I see, recently I did something with my boy in my car and he was telling me, you see what you have done? If it was some artist, you take a video and take. There was a woman crossing the road. She had like 2 kids and some luggages and stuff like that. But she was going to sit in another car. That I think she ordered, you know, some transport or something. So when I saw it, I stopped my car because of the way she was handling the kids. I stopped and I went and saw Mama Mister said, hey, Shatta, there was nobody in the area because it was a quiet area. Hey, Shatta, my estray was my sister, and I helped her. I get what I'm saying. Like, yeah. I don't disrespect people, but when people disrespect me, it gives me that monstrous look to come out and tell them that I am not that type of person that you can sit on my happiness, because I know how to create happiness around me.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to create happiness around you, then I'll show you how monsters also behave. And that's why I come hard like that. Sometimes my dad even calls me and tells me, oh, he heard, you know, some people were saying blah, blah, and, you know, the kind of words I use. I say, Daddy, those are the words that I can use for these people. Because I don't know what else they want me to do for them to see that, no, this guy has grown into a better man that we have to rally behind and support. That is why the Nigerian artists are moving faster than us. Let me just tell you something. The video came to Ghana. He drove right into my house to record with me. Burna Boy came to Ghana. I stayed with him for 1.5 years in Ghana. Don't the industry see that these are signs that no, this guy could have even taken us there first before these boys go. Yeah. But now see Burna Boy and the video and the whiskey and stuff like that. We can't even compare no single artist, including me, to them. Is that not a shame? It's a big thing. Just because we don't watch the growth of our artists. We don't watch what they are doing. We don't even inquire. The only thing we want to check around them is why be Bonnie and I have insulted somebody. Is there a problem? When we went to this event, we had the fair now. Oh, you see a blog, maybe Sarkodie will perform for Sarkodie Force on stage. Is that the news that will bring us money? Is that business? That is not business. But let's project Sarkodie in a way. Let's project Stoneboy in a way. Oh, Stoneboy does this and this and this and it looks good. Shatta Wale does this and this. But if you want to do favoritism and take sides and then support Stoneboy and Sarkodie and feel they are the best people in the world, they'll always be disgracing us. I was telling somebody that if Ola, you are saying that Shatawali, imagine Shatawali with a diplomatic passport.
Yeah, I was going to come to that. Do you support the call from Her Excellency? Say, we should give you diplomatic passport. You, Stoneboy, King Promise, Sarkodie. Do you think it's a good call?
Well, that one lies in the hands of the government and how they see it. Then you see, the government will see that call as a good call when the players in the game are playing a good game. Are you getting me?
That is, if they support the push from Her Excellency and push that agenda, is a good call. You think government should accept it, and you think government can just listen to them?
Yes, because gone are the days where musicians have come and they've gone, and we don't have opportunities like this. Because I always tell people, we musicians in Ghana need certain incentives. You understand me? We need certain privileges that we can, at least, live by and at least feel free, because we don't have our lives anymore. I can't go and eat at a restaurant or a normal chop bar anymore. So there are certain things that it should be considered. But if you guys are sitting on TV and radio and you are talking like this, do you think the politicians will see us that we are serious? Like, for instance, as Zuma even raised this issue, it has become the chaotic moment of the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
The political side will be seen as like, go for a go municipal. I deal with a woman that can move joining house together. Nama foreseen and Nama Yayama Mono, Shediobika. And Nana Akufo-Addo, our president of this land, he loves me more than something. He's a fan. John Mahama is a fan. Ibrahim Mahama is a fan. I have big people in this country who love me for me being me. The former sports minister, Elvis Anka, he's a great fan. I have people, former energy minister, I have people that are watching the entertainment, but they are seeing the players like, what are you guys talking about? How can you even make a statement like, imagine Shatawali? So, okay, I can also tell you that, imagine a Stoneboy who has pulled a gun on the public stage.
Yeah.
Giving a diplomat, what do you say? Imagine a Sarkodie who has had an abortion with a woman and then done a diss track for the woman. Imagine that person with a diplomat. What do you say about it? Nobody is perfect in this world. You just have to stop playing around with this business, because it's business. If they don't understand, that is why I always want to preach that into the fans, into young generations that want to do music. It is business. Nobody should come and sit on nobody and say, we are qualada, ben our bar, and now no. The new generation that is coming, that's why TikTok is creating its own celebrity. Hajia Bintu and things, nobody found them. The time I saw Hajia Bintu, nobody knew her to be where she was. But I did a song and I motivated her. I told her, Hajia, I want you to live a certain life that no girl has lived. And the girl is following that route. She's living her life. So those are the things we can impact into the people coming up. But if we don't do that, God will create his own celebrities. And we'll see them. That's why we are seeing that Santoas, the Hajias, the Wikias, and things on TikTok. And they are making money in their own way. Imagine if these media people were the ones helping them to make this money. They'll always be talking about them and be saying trash about them. But these girls don't care, because they know how to create content. They've learned something for themselves, and that is what we call life skills. They've learned it. So these are industry people. They should be careful with the statements they make, because when you make statements like that, the fans ambassador will even see like, are you guys serious?
Yeah.
Is Shatawali going to drive the diplomatic passport on the road? Why is the woman talking about? The woman is talking about foreign exchange.
Yeah.
The amount of money we bring into this country, that even supports the system. The politicians, people complain, they are not doing this, they are not doing that. Yes, we are all facing the hit and feeling it here. But what are we doing? Some of us are trying. I go to shows and I see fans and I want to just dash them money, throw them money. Not because I want people to see that I have money, but these are the people who helped us from the beginning of this journey. And we can't forget them. So we should start being on the positive side rather than trying to. Because I've already told everybody that the industry can do whatever they want to do. So far as there's Apple Music, there's Audiomack, there's YouTube, there is Deezer, there is Boomplay, all those places. There is no way Shatta will lose in this music game because I'll be making my money hand in hand, cash. You know, so that's what I can say.
102.7.
But Shatta, do you want them to always praise you?
Oh, not praises. I want them to be. What's the word? I want them to be. Let me just. I want to use the word, but I don't know what it's talking about. Let me just. I want them to be respectful to the business. They should watch the business and stop playing around the business. That is my problem. I'm not saying nobody should praise me. If I do something that is not right, you have every right. If it's something is within the entertainment, sector,
space,
you have every right to talk about it, to speak about it on radio. You understand me? For instance, when I went on stage when Stonewall put out that gun, a whole lot of people were saying a whole lot of things. But Shatta, why do you have to stand up? But did you wait for me to go on stage and see what I was going to do? Nobody even thought about it. But everybody jumped into conclusion. Saturday says I'm not here because Saturday says I'm not here. What is from another summer? Maybe what is from Obitsabe Kusantana? What is from Akwesha Bwaji? What is a whole lot of people? So some people in the public that have been watched who always speak anyhow. But when you sit down and analyze things, you should know that no, this is not about pampering anybody. It's about showing respect to the business. The work says come to work at 8 o'clock. You go to work at 8 o'clock. When you don't go to work at 8 o'clock and go at 9, it's disrespectful. So that is what I think they should watch around the business because they are not being respectful around the business. And that is why many of us in the music industry are not making the kind of money we have to make. I tell people I'm making money, all right, but that is not the kind of money I need to make. Shatta has gotten to a level where if I'm doing a show, I need to be charging $700,000, $1 million. But Wizkid is charging. When did Wizkid come? When did Wizkid come into this music game? But Wizkid is making it. So what are we doing? Do we think we are moving forward? No, we are just failing. Gradually, our industry is sinking. Because until now, I'm still talking about it. People have spoken about me since the time I didn't have money. So the time I've gotten money to flip that money into businesses. And still, people still want to say that Wale doesn't respect. You're not okay. You have to see a doctor.
Shatta, your final words to your fans in Takoradi.
Well, my final words is, like they should keep, loving me and supporting me. I always pray for, people that love me a lot too. God, will always touch anybody that supports whatever I do. And thanks to all my, taxi drivers, in Takoradi, for understanding the dream of Shakti and how they really want to support it. And I promise them we're going to have a very grand activation for them there. And, all those drivers that started with, us, we are, looking forward to also support them, in terms of, just putting something in an envelope for them to, when we come to Takoradi. So if you're a driver and you know that you've really, used the app and, you have supported it, you should know that, and say, because, and it's going to look good for all of us. And I just want to thank you guys too that have held me down, so much, especially you,